Welcome to my kitchen. If you've been following my videos for any length of time, you'll notice that I have been out for a few months. And the truth is I had a little bit of a rough patch the last few months, and between falling and breaking my wrist and having 2 cataract surgeries, I have been out for a while. If you're interested, I've written a blog post about that experience, and you can find a link to it in the description box below. Today's video is all about pancakes. And in fact, this is my favorite pancake recipe. It's been my go-to recipe for most of my adult life. And for several years after going plant-based, I didn't have it because no oil or eggs or milk in the batter, and I couldn't imagine a pancake that wasn't smothered in butter and maple syrup. How could you do it? The good news is you don't need any of that stuff, and it is both doable and delicious. So let's get cooking. The first thing we'll make is a fruit compote to go on top of our pancakes. I always make it extra because this is also really good as a topping for yogurt. So leftovers certainly don't go to waste in our house. I'm using a Pink Lady apple. Actually, I'm using 2 Pink Lady apples. I've experimented with different varieties of apple, and the only one I really wouldn't recommend is Granny Smith, unless you really like that tart taste. These are Pink Lady apples. Whole Food had them, and I thought, well, what the heck? I haven't cooked with these before, so we'll give it a try. Generally, I've used Fuji's, Gala's, sometimes Empires are probably my favorite, but they're hard to find. So, to do this, I quarter the apples. And this is a way to slice an apple really fast. Cut the core out, and I save the cores, put them in my scrap bag, and use that for vegetable stock. And I have a video on how to keep a scrap bag in your freezer and make vegetable stock from it. So cut your apple, but don't cut it, slice it down the middle, but don't go the whole way through. Stop before you get to the end. This isn't an especially big apple, so I'm only going to cut this once down the middle, but if it were a larger apple, I might take that quarter and make 2 horizontal slices through it. But now you just do these, or sorry, that's a vertical slice, not a horizontal. And now it's fairly easy to just slice, and you get these nice pieces. This pancake recipe makes 6 decent sized pancakes using 1/3 cup of batter per pancake. It's enough, I think, for 2 to 3 people. And this 2 medium-ish size apples will make enough compote for that many pancakes, plus a little extra, unless you really like the compote. Oops. Spilling all over the place here. So I'm going to continue slicing the rest of these apples. And now that my apples are cut up, and this is enough to comfortably fill, 2 apples comfortably fills a 1-quart saucepan. The rest of the ingredients I'm going to add are 1/4 cup of raisins, a tablespoon of maple syrup, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. That's all the liquid you need. Don't be tempted to add any more liquid. I just want to kind of stir it up because I'd like to get the lemon juice distributed so the apples don't oxidize. You'll also notice that I haven't peeled the apples. My YouTube channel is all about making simple, tasty, and healthy food fast. And peeling the apples isn't necessary. The skins are good for you, and I think it adds a different flavor and texture dimension to the compote. Oh, the other thing I put in, I almost forgot, a cinnamon stick. So, now I'm going to turn this on low and cover it, and within 2 or 3 minutes, we'll start getting a little moisture released from the apples. I've made this in the past. I've put a little water in to get it started, and then it ends up way too liquidy. And here, this is starting to sizzle, and you can see already, this has only been like 2 minutes, but already some, let's see, there we go, some moisture is being released from the apples. This has been simmering now for about 10 minutes, and it's well on its way. It'll be another 10 minutes before it's cooked. So what I'm going to do is put this on the back burner on low and let it continue to simmer while we finish getting the pancakes ready. Okay, you can see I've got a fairly small bowl here. This is, well, kind of medium-sized bowl, and then a second fairly small one. This is going to be the wet ingredients, but 2 dry ingredients go in first, and that is a cup of rolled oats and 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. Your next ingredient is a cup of your favorite plant milk. I'm using soy milk. And that's a cup and a half of your favorite plant milk, not cup. There you go. So the oats do need to soak, as do the flax seeds. But you want to be careful, especially the oats can be over-soaked very easily. I've let them soak for more than 10 minutes and they've turned to mush. So put them aside and let them soak for 10 minutes while you're getting the rest of your ingredients ready, but don't let them go much longer. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to get this ready. And this is half a cup of whole wheat flour, a tablespoon of date sugar, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of baking soda. The final ingredient is optional. It's called kala namak, and you have to get it in an Indian grocery or online. This is Indian black salt, and you can see it looks more pink. It has a little bit of sulfur in it, which kind of can impart an eggy taste. You have to be careful because a little bit goes a long way. So I would say like just a 1/16 of a teaspoon is all you'll need. And if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Finally, just take a fork and break up any lumps and mix everything around good. And here's what the apples are looking like. They're looking good. yeah, I think this is actually done. So, just put the lid on, set it aside, and now we can make our pancakes. Okay, now I've got my oats that have been soaked, and I'm adding my dry ingredients, and you'll see that you're getting a fairly dense batter. Probably a lot denser than you're used to getting. In fact, this is more dense than I'm used to getting. So, I am actually going to add a little more soy milk to my batter. A little bit goes a long way, so I would suggest just a few drops. This is better. You can see it still is dense, but this is about the consistency that you need. I prefer to use a cast iron griddle to cook my pancakes. You'll need either a nonstick surface or a lightly oiled cast iron or lightly oiled griddle of some kind or pan. In the companion blog to this piece, I have a link in the description box, or in the companion blog, to the Environmental Working Group's discussion of the toxicity of nonstick cookware. And they've essentially said that no amount of nonstick is safe. There are newer generation of like ceramic and I guess some silicone. These nonstick surfaces have not been adequately tested, so there's no way of knowing whether it's safe or not. So I'm coming down on the side of using a little bit of oil. Okay, so I have a piece of a paper towel, and I'm wiping this evenly to distribute the oil and to wipe off any excess. Get 1/3 of a cup. It out, and then kind of spread it into circle, and I'll do that. I've tried to do 4, and I can put them on, but I like to have a little space in between my pancakes so that I can flip them easier. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, you can see that these pancakes are just about ready to turn. I've zeroed in on this one. The edges have just started to dry out, and there are lots of bubbles, and they're starting to pop. So, flip it. The flip side only needs like 2 minutes. And they're done nicely. So I have my towel here. I'm ready to put the next batch on, and this is really hot now, so it's going to cook a lot faster. But I've got my towel, my paper towel that I use to grease these initially, and it's greasy. So I'm just going to go over this again, redistribute some of the oil, get some of the pancake residue off. Oops. Okay, And we've got pancakes and fruit compote. And here it is, oatmeal pancakes with apple compote. Perfect. And really good. Any leftovers we have get stored in the freezer and reheated in the toaster. It works just fine. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching.